For this month's support tip, I'd like to show you how to send a BYOR via alerts and notifications. To access alerts and notifications, we'll go to the Admin Utilities menu, Advanced Feature Setup, Manage Alerts and Notifications. From the Alerts and Notifications screen, you'll want to create a new mailing. We'll give our mailing a name, and then on the next option, the mailing type, we'll want to drop that down, and instead of Standard Alert Mailing, we'll want to select BYOR Mailing. The sponsor is the name of the person that's created the mailing. We'll want to go ahead and pick a start and an end date for the mailing. Usually you can just pick today's date in both menus and then change the year to something like 2099. In the valid send hours, you can set the time frame that the mailing is allowed to process. The most important thing is that you don't have the mailing set to process prior to your connector finishing. So typically something like 6 o'clock is a safe bet. However, if you want to be sure, you can check your log files to see what time your connector finishes processing. The schedule allows you to determine the frequency that the mailing will process. So you can process the mailing every day, the first day or the last day of the month, or under the Advanced tab, you can choose a daily, weekly, or monthly schedule. For our example, we'll choose weekly, and we'll deselect all of the days except for Monday. Once the mailing is set up, we can go ahead and click OK. And then notice it will switch us over to the BYOR Alerts tab. The first thing we'll want to do is we'll want to change our next send date to be the next day that we want the alert to go out. So since this will be on Mondays, we can go ahead and select the following Monday. 6 a.m. to match our mailing time, close, and then we can go ahead and open the mailing. The first thing we'll do is select the BYOR that we want to be a part of the mailing. If we hit the chain link, here will be a list of all the enabled BYORs that you have on your system. Keep in mind that the BYOR has to be enabled in BYOR permissions for it to show up in this list. If you've created a report and you've forgotten to enable it in permissions, it will not be available for you to select. Really quick, to enable the permissions for a BYOR, if you go to User Permissions under the Admin Utilities menu and select User Permission Wizard, under Report Permissions, the Reports tab, and Availability, here's where you can view all the reports that have been created in your system and which ones are enabled or disabled. To enable a report, simply select the report and check the Enabled box. You can close out of Permissions and then go back into the Manage Alerts and Notifications to select your report. If we go back to our BYOR Alerts tab and then open the Test BYOR mailing, we can now see that the report I enabled, 2016 Opportunity Dashboard, is available for me to select. I'll go ahead and select the Include box and then hit OK, which will add the BYOR to the mailing. The next thing that I need to do is add the users that I want to receive this report. With the report highlighted, if I click the pencil and unselect the Limit to Users box, this will show me a list of all the TDF users that I have to subscribe to the BYOR mailing. All I need to do is select the box of the users that I want to add and press OK. You'll notice at the bottom of the screen the report is highlighted in red for each user. This indicates that an auto BSID has not been selected for that report. What that means, if I go over to BYOR, is over here on the right hand side in the settings for each report is an auto BSID field. The auto BSID is similar to your summary selection, so if we click on this box, it'll bring up the summary selection screen and we can choose what level we want to run the report for. If the auto BSID is filled out for the BYOR, no further action will be required in alerts and notifications. However, since the alert service needs to know what level the BYOR should be run for, if an auto BSID is not filled out, you will need to fill one out for each person that you subscribe to the BYOR mailing. All you need to do is double click on the icon located next to the exclamation point and select the summary for each user. Once you've done that, the warning will go away and the user will be successfully added to the BYOR mailing. You'll just need to repeat those steps for each additional subscribed user where the warning is displayed.